Respected principals, sirs, madams, a very good evening to everyone. This is N. Pujita, pursuing BSc MPCS, final year in TTWRDC Women, Suryapet, Kodad. As I was selected for Best Student Teacher from my college, I want to give a seminar on regarding physics subject. I prepared 14 slides of PPT to understand my seminar briefly and clearly. Let's see the PPT here. It is my first slide. It means introduction. TTWRDC Women Suryapet Kodad. Subject physics. Topic semiconductors. It is presented by me. Name and Pujita. Course BSc MPCS final year. Guide Charita ma'am and Vimla ma'am. Department of Physics. Principal Dr. N. Srilata ma'am. It's the introduction part. This is the introduction part of the slide PPT. Next, I want to tell a few words about the topic semiconductors. In physics, semiconductor plays a vital role. It's a main part in physics, right? Here we also know about semiconductors. Yeah, it by this seminar we are going to know about it briefly. Let's start them. Here it's my second slide. Contents. What is the content? It is nothing but the topics which we are going to cover in this seminar, which we are going through. What are the topics? Let's say this: definition of semiconductors, types of semiconductors with examples, intrinsic semiconductors, extrinsic semiconductors, properties of semiconductors, uses of semiconductors, importance of semiconductors, and at last we are going to take a conclusion according this topic. Let's see the first content, first topic. Here is the third slide. Definition of semiconductors. What is a semiconductor first? We have to know the definition of semiconductors because it plays a vital role. Without semiconductors, there is no physics, right? Here, first of all, without semiconductors, there is no electricity. It is mainly used in electrical and electrical physics. Let's see the definition. Semiconductors are the materials which have a conductivity between conductors, generally metals, and non-conductors are insulators such as ceramics. Before going to explain the definition of semiconductors, we have to go through the conductors and non-conductors or insulators. What is a conductor first? It is a substance or the material which allows electric current to pass through them. It is known as a conductor. In this, the conductors can produce free electrons. Why it produces free electrons? It allows the electric current to pass through them. That's why the something action is to be done when the electric current pass through the material, right? That because of that free electrons are produced. This is a conductor. The examples for these conductors, we may take metals, means gold, silver, aluminum, etc. And next, shall we move on to the next? Non-conductors are insulators. It is opposite of conductors because non-conductors are insulators. They cannot allow electric current to pass through them. It means that they cannot produce electricity. They cannot allow electric current to pass through them. These are known as insulators. They does not produce any free electrons because the materials which does not allow electric current to pass through them, then how the free electrons will be produced in that? So they such as ceramics. This is the main difference between conductors and non-conductors or insulators. Let's see the common elements such as silicon, carbon and germanium. These are the examples of semiconductors. Now see here, first of all, now we have gone through conductors and insulators, right? Now semiconductors. Semiconductors are the materials which have a conductivity between conductors and insulators. It means that semiconductors acts as a conductors, and sometimes it also acts as a insulators. The common elements silicon, carbon and germanium. This is a definition of semiconductors. Here let's move on to the next slide. Types of semiconductor. What are the main types of semiconductors? There are mainly two types of semiconductors. They are intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. Before going to learn about intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors, let's see the semiconductor devices on the next slide. Here see op amp. It means that operational amplifiers. What does it work? How does it work? What is the main use of this? Is extremely, it is a high gain amplification. It shows the differences in voltages between two two inputs. What are the two inputs then? First is the inverting input and second one is the non-inverting input. This is the main use of operational amplifiers. Next, resistor. We all know about, we are well known about resistors. What does the resistor do? A resistor is a passive it has a two terminals. It is a passive two terminal electrical component, and it is used to reduce what it reduces is it controls the flow of current, it signals and also divide the voltages, the etc. These are the usages of resistors. And then ICs is nothing but integrated circuits. ICs are the integrated circuits. It is defined as a microchip. It is nothing but a microchip. It has thousands and hundreds of electrical components such as capacitors, transistors, resistors, etc. These are the integrated circuits. Next, capacitor. What is a capacitor then? The main use of the capacitor is it has a it has two terminals, and it stores the energy in the form of electrical energy. It stores the energy in the form of electric current. Okay, it's a capacitor. Next, transistor. Transistor is a three terminals. It has a three terminals which is connected to the external circuit. What is the main use of this? It can switch and also electrical signals. It can switch the electronic signals and also amplify and switch the electronic signals and electrical power supplies. It's a transistor. Diode. What is a diode? It allows the current to pass through only in one direction and severely restricts to pass in opposite direction. It does not give a chance to the current to flow in an opposite direction. It only allows the current to pass in only one direction. These are the semiconductor devices. Here, next, shall we move on to the next slide? Types. Now there are types of semiconductors, right? Intrinsic semiconductors. The semiconductors in an extremely pure form are known as intrinsic semiconductors. It means that without adding any impurity to the pure substance, is known as the intrinsic semiconductors. The semiconductors in which electrons and holes are solely created by the thermal excitation are called intrinsic semiconductors. In intrinsic semiconductors, electrons and holes are produced, right? This is a intrinsic semiconductors. Example, pure form of germanium and silicon without adding any impurity. Pure germanium and silicon. These are the intrinsic semiconductors. And in intrinsic semiconductors, the number of free electrons is always equals to the number of holes. As we all know that in intrinsic semiconductors, there are free electrons and holes are produced. So what's here is the number of free, how many electrons are produced, that number is equals to the number of holes. Here in this diagram, see this diagram, the hole which is filled with the electron is known as free electron, and the hole which is empty is known as hole. These are connected to a battery. Here is a battery, positive terminal and negative terminal. Here, according to this diagram, free electrons are passing towards the positive terminal of the battery, and the holes are passing towards the negative terminal of the battery, right? This is a diagram showing here. Next type of semiconductor, that is extrinsic semiconductors. It is quite opposite to the intrinsic semiconductor, because intrinsic semiconductors is a pure form, right? Here extrinsic semiconductor is not a pure substance. It is, in these extrinsic semiconductors, impurities are added. An extrinsic semiconductor is one that has been doped. During manufacture of the semiconductor crystal, a trace element called a doping agent has been incorporated chemically into the crystal. What is a doping agent? The material, a trace of element which is adding to the pure form, is known as a doping agent. What is the doping process then? The adding of impurity to the pure substance while the manufacturing of a crystal. Crystal chemically, it is known as a doping process. Here examples or types of extrinsic semiconductor is N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductors. Here the main difference between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor is pure form of a substance is known as the intrinsic, and while the impurities are added, that is called as extrinsic semiconductors. Next, move on to the next slide. N-type and P-type semiconductors. Here is a diagram. Here is the diagrams to understand it briefly. N-type semiconductor is nothing but adding pentavalent impurity to the pure substance. Pentavalent, it means 5 valence electrons. The element which has a 5 valence electrons is added to the, is set into the germanium. It has 4 valence electrons, right? Here in this diagram, what is a impurity? Impurity is arsenic. Arsenic, it is also one of the element. Arsenic is a impurity. It is adding, it is doped, it is doping in germanium atom, pure substance. Germanium is a pure substance, and to make it a impurity, arsenic is adding. See here in the diagram, arsenic is set in the germanium atoms. Germanium has 4 valence electrons, right? These 4 electrons, and arsenic has 5 valence electrons. These 4 will form 4 arsenic atoms in forms a covalent bonding, but there is a remaining 1 electron. What is it? It is nothing but a free electron. It can produce many number of free electrons and can produce electricity. This is the main thing. This is the main point in this. It's while we are adding pentavalent impurity to the pure substance, there is one free electrons is remaining. The remaining electron is known as a free electron. Here in N-type semiconductors, number of electrons are more. Here remaining 1 electron, right? That 1 electron is, it is a donor. It's giving 1 electron, not taking, it's giving. So what is it called as? It is a donor, giving, donor atom. N-type semiconductor produces a donor atom. This is a N-type semiconductors. And then see here, P-type semiconductors. What is a P-type semiconductor then? P-type semiconductor is nothing but adding trivalent impurity to the pure substance. N-type is a pentavalent impurity and P-type is a trivalent impurity. Trivalent impurity is added to the pure form of substance. Trivalent impurity is nothing but the elements which are having 3 valence electrons in their outer shell. They are known as trivalent elements. Trivalent elements. See here in p-type it is also, see, boron has 3 valence electrons, right? Here boron is set with pure form of germanium. Then germanium has 4 valence electrons. Boron has only 3 valence electrons, so it requires 1 electron, right? That is known as a acceptor. Then it can produce a hole. Here in this picture it's a it give a name by an arrow mark, hole. It is a hole, then it forms a hole. P-type semiconductors forms a hole. N-type semiconductor forms free electrons. Here in this P-type semiconductor, holes can produce hole. Here in this in a p-type semiconductor, holes can produce, their electrons can produce. This is the main difference between n-type and p-type semiconductors. Here energy band diagram of n-type semiconductor and energy bond diagram for p-type semiconductor. It is a giving means what is it? Giving, donor atom. Here it is taking, it's a acceptor atom. Here, okay, this is n-type and p-type semiconductors. Next, properties of semiconductors. In each topic we have to in each topic or in anything, the topic will definitely has a properties, right? Some of the properties are semiconductors can conduct electricity under preferable conditions. There is no certain condition to produce an electricity. Here the semiconductors or any circumstances, these unique property, this good property making the semiconductor as an excellent material for conducting electricity in a controlled manner. This is a main and good property of semiconductor. Here the resistivity means resistivity, conductivity, temperature coefficient of resistance, current flow. These are some of the properties. Resistivity 10 power minus 5 to 10 power 6 ohm meter. Conductivity 10 power 5 to 10 power minus 6 MHO. MHO, what is meant by MHO? MHO is nothing but the reciprocal of ohm per meter. Temperature coefficient of resistance is negative. Current flow due to electrons and holes. Our previous slide shows electrons and holes, right? That's the main thing. Electrons, due to electrons and holes, the current will be flows. These are the main properties of semiconductors. Let's move on to the next slide. Uses. What is the use? Why we have to know about semiconductors? Why this is in physics? What is the use of this and why we have to use semiconductors in our day-to-day life? For our conveniency, and it's a main usage. It has the main usages. Let's see some of the main usages. Temperature sensors are made temperature devices. What is a temperature sensor then? Temperature sensor is nothing but it can sense the environment, temperature of the environment, and it converts it into the electrical energy, that is known as temperature sensors. In manufacture of temperature sensors, semiconductor devices are used. They are used in 3D printing machines, 3-dimensional printing machines. We all well known about 3D printing machines. So semiconductor devices are used also in 3D printing machines, used in microchips. What is a microchip? Microchip, I think we all know this. Microchip can hold a lot amount of information. It can store. And self-driving cars. What is self-driving cars? Self-driving cars are autonomous or driverless cars. These are the names of self-driving cars. It means that it can drive the car by itself without having the without a man, a human being, without us. It can drive for itself. It can sense the road. It can drive for itself. It's a modern inventions, self-driving cars. It is used also in calculators. We all well known about a calculator. Solar plates. What is a solar plate? Solar plates are nothing but they can receive the solar energy from the sun and it can convert into the electrical energy. These are known as solar plates. Computers, we all know, and other electronic devices. Next, used as a switch in electrical circuits. We are using day to day life electrical circuits. In electrical circuits, there were switches, right? That manufacture of switches, semiconductor devices are also used. These are the main, and these are the these usages. These here, the 3D printing machines, self-driving microchips, these are used by us in everyday life, right? Here it's the main use of semiconductor. Next, move on to the next slide. Importance of semiconductors. What is the main importance of semiconductor? Here we have discussed some advantages of semiconductors which makes them highly useful everywhere. We are using everywhere in our day-to-day life. They are highly portable due to smaller size. It has a smaller size, so they can be carried everywhere. They can be carried everywhere, and it's not a problem to us to make it a use, right? They require less input power. If we give some input power, they can produce electricity. So it requires less input power. Semiconductor devices are shock proof. It is also shock proof. They have a longer lifespan. They cannot be damaged so early. It can use for many days. They are noise free while operating. While they are performing their activity, there is no disturbance for no one. There is no disturbance for us, so it's a noise free. These are the main importances of semiconductors. Next, move on to the next slide. It's a conclusion. Here the development of power semiconductor devices is very essential for modern electronics, right? Because nowadays there are some inventions and there are some researches. Many were there due to some of the great great scientists in physics. We are going to learn about semiconductors and everything, right? Now in our generation also, we have to make an invention for our future generations, for future electronic devices, for modern electronics. The power devices based on new structures and materials are promising and commercially realistic for future electronic developments. We have to develop all things, because without semiconductors there is nothing. Why it's nothing is we are using day-to-day life, switches, electricity, fans, lights, everything. So due to this technology, present technology, we are living, but our next generation, by this technology they can't, because they are growing. Generations were moving, going. So we have to some more inventions, and scientists have to develop among us, and semi devices also, materials also we have to make. That's a future electronic developments. And also it's my conclusion to have to develop the semiconductor devices. And it's a boon for our future generations to know about these semiconductors in physics. It's my conclusion. In these slides, in this PPT, we have well known about the definition of semiconductors and types, properties, intrinsic, extrinsic semiconductors with examples and also with diagrams and importance uses and all we and at last we came across conclusion. It's okay. Next slide. Thank you, slide. A big thank you for you all for your patience and a great time you have spent with me. Thank you so much. First of all, we have to thank our secretary, Dr. Aris Praveen Kumar sir, for giving us this wonderful opportunities, and also I will thank our staff and also staff for staff for giving me this wonderful opportunities, staff of Gurukulam. Thank you so much.